Alright, Shalom, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to say Kalam Yahawashi Yahawashi Bashima Rakakwadash. And double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who do rule and teach well. Forgive me if my voice is a little a little low. I'm getting over a little ailment. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 32. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father, which is in heaven. Alright, because you know that Yahushua, he's our mediator, So that's why it's important that we have to confess him, in the highways and byways, push the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and his Son, Yahushua. You worship Yahweh and Yahushua, okay? And, let's see if we can get this one. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30. Chapter 30. Let's see if I can find it. Proverbs 30, verse 4. Who hath ascended up into heaven, or descended, who hath gathered the wind in his fist, who hath bound the waters in the garment, who hath established all the ends of the earth. What is his name? What is the Son's name? Thou canst tell. This is the word of Agor. Alright, talking about what's the name of that my Father, what is the name of his Son. Alright, see, to the name. Right? The name is Yahweh. The name of his Son is Yahushai. Alright, so, those are the names. And that's what we confess in highways and byways. We confess the name. We confess the true appearance, the true skin color. They're so-called black men, right, with white woolly hair, afros. Right, they're not white men with long, stringy hair, blue eyes. Heavenly Father, white guy, old white guy with a beard and a big belly or whatever they always depict them as. Beard, belly, a white garment on, and what else is he wearing? He's wearing I don't know, like a tunic or something. I don't know. These guys are going off, man. And the Father is not a white man, right? So-called black man, and that's many precepts on that. Daniel 7, goes into it. And then we get the Revelation 1 for the description of Yahushua. And we know that Yahushua is in the image of the Heavenly Father, right? Not only, of like mind, but also in appearance as well. Okay. Yahushua is the first spirit created. So Matthew 10:33. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny me before my Father which is in heaven. Right? So, this should put fear in you. You wouldn't want to fall out. And if you fall out and you quit pushing this truth, right? You put your hand to the plow and look back, you're denying Yahushua, man. Right? And it's easier said than done. It gets tough, man. I'm not a brother of experience. I haven't been through a lot, but you listen to the accounts of brothers, things that they speak on, you know what I mean, and so on and so forth. Watch videos. It's like, man, this thing, it ain't easy. We go through it, but at the same time, you gotta keep pushing, man. You know what I mean? Because it's all to get that. Let's see if I can find it. Let's get this one. This book of Revelation, chapter 2:17. He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. Right? And this one back to the 7 churches of Asia Minor back then, but now it applies to us. Now, to him that overcometh, will I give to eat of the hidden manna. I'll give him a white stone, and the stone newly written, which no man knoweth, save he that receive it. Right? So everyone has ears. He's talking about your spirit, right? I'll give him the hidden manna. I give him a white stone. Alright, so the matters of knowledge, white stone, exemption, right? Because in ancient Rome, you give a white stone if you were acquitted, and a black stone if you weren't. You know, new name. It's talking about kainos, which means refreshed. Right? So the name, come back to remember, it's not an actual new name because other camps like to bring that out a lot. I'm trying to say that, oh, see, you can have a new name, but we don't know that name, so we're not going to bother even teaching a name. That's madness. No, his name is Yahawashi, and it's not going to change. You know, that thing for Yahweh's name is going to change. None of those names are going to change, right? Because going back to, when the Father revealed his name unto, Moses, bring back, right? That was his name. It wasn't. It says that wasn't known, but just means you go into that word Nawadaithya. It just means not well known, not famous, right? Because Enoch, many men, many men of the Lord, prayed to that name. Abraham called upon the name of the Lord. Many, of our forefathers, many men of the Lord, called on the name. Right? So this is going to be the last one, and we'll call it. This is the book of First Timothy, chapter 2 and 5. For there's one power and one mediator between the Most High Yahweh and man, the man Yahawashi Mashiach. Alright, so we want him to mediate. Right, and that word mediator. Go back. Mesitas, one who intervenes between two, either in order to make or restore peace or friendship, or for a contract, or for ratifying a covenant. Alright, so a go-between. Right, because we know that, right now we're under that grace period. We want, Yahawashi to mediate for us, so we can get saved and things like that, because right now we're under a grace period. Like when you pay, phone bill, or I don't know about phone bills. I think they just fuck you over immediately. But certain bills out there, you get a grace period where you're not gonna have to pay interest, and they give you time to like pay your bill or whatever. I think it's like that. It's like that for like a gym membership. If you get one to like insurance or something. It's like that. They'll give you like 3 or 4 days to pay it after the due date, so that you can still have time. You could still have your membership active, and then you could pay it. But right now we're under a grace period where now's the time to get right before Jacob's trouble comes in full swing. When the doors of mercy will be closed, the men of the Lord will be pulled off the streets. They won't be out there no more, and they'll do a purge. It'll be like the movie The Purge, but they'll want to do a purge, like when you hear about Stalin doing a purge of his political enemies, of people or dissenters. They're gonna seek to do that to us as well. Pull certain men and lock them away, try to force them to take the chip. But the men of the Lord will go to the grave and not take that thing. They'll just face whatever they gotta face in there. The beheading, which is prophesied. So let that be that, Lord, and God, Nesa Shalom.